Right now, there are about 500,000 more people on BadgerCare in Wisconsin than there was on average before the pandemic. That's because the feds stopped states from taking people off Medicaid during the pandemic.
But that ban could lift soon, with the state now warning that at least a few 100,000 people may be coming off BadgerCare as soon as this summer. Naomi Coles has the details.
An attorney I spoke with who specializes in healthcare access for clients told me a rough estimate puts that number at more than 10,000 for Dane County alone. It's not time to panic, but if you are on BadgerCare, you'll want to keep an eye on this because everyone will have to go through the renewal process when that federal public health emergency ends.
My little quarantine baby.
A new baby put Catherine on BadgerCare early in the pandemic, soon after she'd started a job where she knew she'd have to buy her own plan.
Which was great. I didn't have to pay for insurance. I got, prenatal care covered. But I also knew, because this was not my first child, that it was going to end.
Except it didn't. A federal public health emergency paused Medicaid renewals nationwide, so no one got kicked off.
It was nice. I saved money, but I also had that guilt of I'm getting free insurance.
The state estimates at least a few 100,000 people will lose BadgerCare once President Biden lifts the emergency, which could come this summer. At that point, the state will start a 12-month process of renewing and reevaluating everyone's eligibility.
We are ready for it.
So what should you be doing now to prepare?
Everybody who is impacted by this change will get a letter.
I talked to Covering Wisconsin, a nonprofit helping connect people to health insurance. The governor gave them federal COVID relief dollars to help with this process.
Even if your situation hasn't changed, you'll have to complete that renewal.
The big things: make sure your address, email, and phone number on your account are current. If you miss the notice and don't renew, your coverage could drop even if you're still eligible. Secondly, make sure you're opening all mail from the State Department of Health Services. Finally, downloading the state's My Access app could make the renewal process easier.
Just to stay alert. No reason to panic, but at this point, I think it's just being prepared for when that public emergency announcement ends.
Attorney Bobby Peterson of ABC for Health helps people get health care access and estimates more than 10,000 in Dane County could be affected.
What we want to try and do is make sure that no one loses coverage, but people, maybe transition to more appropriate coverage.
Like Catherine, who's grateful for the longer than normal coverage, but also ready.
It's scary, but it's also a relief. So it will be coming out of my pocket.
It's very unlikely that this will come out of nowhere, so you have time. The federal government has told states that they'll send a 60-day notice before they drop the public health emergency, and our state's Department of Health secretary says she thinks it'll drop in mid-July. Finally, if you need help with any of this, you can reach that nonprofit Covering Wisconsin online.